What is up, Spidey fans? Welcome back to another very exciting and informative Marvel Spider-Man 2 video. As we now head into right around 2 weeks away from the game's launch, fans like me are still clamoring for any glimpse we can get for Marvel Spider-Man 2. And many fans, including myself once again, were amongst the many who were very hopeful to see Marvel Spider-Man 2 make an appearance on the cover for the October issue of Game Informer. And that unfortunately was not the case, as the game was not featured on the cover for the magazine. But even though Marvel Spider-Man 2 was not featured on Game Informer's cover, they did make the cover of another gaming magazine that did in fact offer very exclusive coverage, teases, and even a couple spoilers for the game that was given to us right from a lot of the Insomniac developers. And the magazine that does feature the game on the cover is one I really did not expect. It's a magazine called Game Center, and it's a magazine owned by Walmart, so definitely go check out your local Walmart because that's where I found this one. And the biggest thing is it's free. That's right, if you look on the cover, it says free magazine, take one, and I'm like, heck, I would have bought this thing, but since it's free, I can't just leave it. Come on now. But anyway, now of all the many things that were teased in this magazine, I'm not going to cover all of them in this video. I'm going to probably cover each tease that's mentioned in a separate video of some sort. So if you like what we talked about here today in today's video, definitely hit the subscribe button, as there's many more tidbits coming that you're not going to want to miss. Trust me. But anyways, the main thing that I did want to talk about here today is definitely something I would consider a spoiler. It's not a major spoiler that's going to really give away some major plot point in the story, but it does provide a lot more context into how something happens, and it has everything to do with Miles Morales and how he gets his all-new bioelectric venom abilities that we've seen multiple times in all of the trailers that we've gotten. For instance, in Miles Morales' game, you'll notice that his venom abilities were yellow, but from what we've seen in Marvel Spider-Man 2, his bioelectric venom abilities are now blue, and there's a very simple explanation for that. So before this brief paragraph that I'm about to read, it talked about Peter Parker mostly and his symbiote abilities and how they're going to be impacting the story, and then they slowly make the transition to talking about Miles. So the paragraph reads, as for the game's younger Spider-Man, we already saw Miles develop a new set of bioelectric powers in his solo spin-off. These venom abilities, no relation to the symbiote, will get pushed even further in Marvel Spider-Man 2 with evolved venom powers. These evolved venom powers are called Thunderburst and Chain Lightning, and they're a lot more volatile than his previous bioelectric abilities, putting more emphasis on the shock of the initial attack and enabling Miles to reach enemies from longer distances. Senior game director Ryan Smith over at Insomniac continued by saying, as for what prompts Miles to develop these new abilities and why they appear to have changed in color from his earlier venom powers, well, there's an unexpected catalyst behind all of that, in the form of a returning villain. Okay, so the fact that Ryan Smith actually revealed all this types of information before the game even came out is beyond me. That's absolutely insane. I'm surprised that he did that. Now, it's important to note that he didn't specifically mention the person by name that gave Miles these evolved venom abilities, but I think it's pretty safe to say who we can all assume that it's gonna be. Smith said that it's a returning villain, so that means that they've appeared in one of the previous Marvel Spider-Man titles of Miles Morales or Marvel Spider-Man PS4. And who do we know from one of the recent trailers that Miles is in fact gonna have an interaction with? That's right, Mr. Negative, Martin Lee. Among all the previous villains that have appeared in the past games, Martin Lee just makes the most sense, even if you take the context away from all of it. Like, no, I don't think that Scorpion, if he were to stab Miles, I don't think that would give him some crazy new evolved abilities. Doc Ock, no, not really. He's just a normal guy without his tentacles. Rhino, nope, he's just a big guy in a suit. The only other person besides Mr. Negative that I think maybe could be Electro, of course, but his electric abilities are yellow just like Miles. But the thing is, with Electro, we don't even know if they're gonna even come, like, cross paths in this game. We know for a fact that Mr. Negative and Miles are, and I think that would only further the plot of the story if somehow their interaction gave Miles these brand new abilities, and I think that would be so cool. It's kind of ironic because Martin Lee was the one who killed Miles' father, and wouldn't it be funny if Mr. Negative actually is the one that makes Miles more powerful with these all new venom abilities? That would be kind of funny if you think about it. But wait, it actually doesn't end there. I kept on reading in this article a little bit more, and senior narrative director John Paquette pretty much just confirmed what we were saying. He says that we always want our characters to be growing and changing. So for Miles in this game, We wanted to have an internal engine for what is driving these external changes. Paquette goes on to say, one of the characters that reappears in our story is Martin Lee, aka Mr. Negative. It is this reappearance that triggers the change within Miles, and we're excited for players to experience how these changes occur both outside and inside of Miles. So there you have it. Confirmation that Mr. Negative is going to be the cause of Miles Morales' all-new bioelectric venom abilities. Hell yeah. Let's go. I'm here for it. But guys, that's going to do it for this quick update video on Miles Morales' brand new evolved venom abilities in Marvel's Spider-Man 2. Definitely leave a like on this video if you got something out of here today. It really helps push out this video so more and more people can see it. Make sure that you're a subscriber if you love Spider-Man content, especially when it comes to Marvel's Spider-Man 2. Thank you all so much for watching. See ya, chumps.
See ya, chump.